Mall of America. For more than 30 years, it has been a retail leader and an international destination, and it remains the largest mall in the U.S. Not to mention, it welcomes millions of guests from around the world. It's huge, but it's also so much more. In this podcast, you're going to hear the real stories of how it started and why it continues to thrive. You'll hear about challenges we faced along the way and what you can learn from them. We will feature guests and experts from all walks of life and business, and along the way, you'll laugh, learn, and maybe even change the way you look at things. So if you're a fan of the mall, a brand new visitor, an entrepreneur, or a dreamer, prepare to dive deep into so much more. This podcast is presented by the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to So Much More. I am your host this afternoon, Dan Jasper. I'm the Senior Vice President here at Mall of America. I'm in charge of MOA Press, and our podcast is part of MOA Press. We are excited, and I'm actually really excited to be joined by the founders and the people that started Slice Brothers Pizza. They recently opened at Mall of America, and they quickly became a hit. I know they're a hit with the office staff for sure. I'm excited to learn more about why they decided to come to the mall, why they got into pizza, and what their story is and what their dreams are for the future. So it is my honor to welcome to our Pizza Party podcast the two owners, co-founders of Slice Brothers Pizza, Hosie Thurmond and Adam Kado. Hosie, Adam, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us, man. We're very happy to be here.
Good.
Sure.
It's good to have you.
Very happy to be here. Yeah, thanks for having us.
What'd you bring for me today?
We have the dill pickle ranch pizza.
A dill pickle pizza sitting in front of me. And before we even start the podcast, I think we need to dig in. Let's each take a slice. Do you guys, is this okay if I just use my hands? I'm going to take a slice, grab one. Everybody, we're going to take a big bite of this. And in all honesty, I have had this pizza on several occasions already from Slice Brothers Pizza, and I love it.
Thank you.
It's so good. I love it. Who would have thought pickle pizza, right?
Yeah.
I love pizza. I love pickles. How can you go wrong?
Well, it's one of those things, like, once upon a time, people wouldn't even put pineapples on pizza, right? And there's still some people like, no, pineapples don't go on pizza. We hear it in, like, the Facebook comments and stuff all the time. I think we're kind of unconventional, and we're willing to take chances. We didn't come up with the pickle, though. That is a Minnesota trend. We did our take on it, so I don't want to take credit or anything for it. Like, we're the originators of the pickle, but ours is obviously different than anybody else's, and that is a Minnesota thing. And I think we do have a culture of pizza here, and we're not afraid to take chances and throw some dill, some ranch-based sauce, and some pickle, and try something new, you know?
Yeah. Well, pickle was like the hottest trend of 2022 across the pizza industry. I think you saw it at the fair. There was a very popular, stand where people were all going. But then even like, higher end, pizzerias, Young Joni, they have a version. I mean, across the board, everyone has a version or has pickle infused into their menu now. And it's coming, like the pineapple, he said, a very common item. I like ours versus anybody's. I'll say that for sure.
I do too. I do too.
But it's a very popular, item that's going on pizza right now.
Yours is delicious, by the way. I have to tell you that.
We appreciate that.
And I actually do eat Slice Brothers Pizza often for lunch.
Okay.
I love it. It's near our offices. It's easy to get to. You have good staff members there that are friendly, which I love.
That means a lot.
But your pickle pizza, also with that ranch, that hint of ranch on there too, is really tasty. I love that. And I've had the one at the State Fair, and I'm a State Fair lover, by the way. I love that place. Yours is better.
Thank you. Yeah, that goes a long way.
Just going to say it.
Go and check it out. If you haven't tried it, then compare the two and let us know. Anyone watching the podcast.
You've got to do it. And we're actually going to be, you may hear some muffling and some chewing as we go along because we're enjoying our pizza as we go.
Yeah.
I want to hear about the origins of how you guys decided to start a pizza company and get your backgrounds too, even before Slice Brothers Pizza. Do you guys mind telling me kind of what you were doing and what brought you together? And by the way, you're not brothers, right?
Yeah, you can call it that.
Not by blood, right? You're not blood, right? But
no.
Okay, so Hosie, Adam, tell me your background and what brought you together to create this new pizzeria.
Yeah, I mean, well, me and Adam are really friends from childhood. And, my family migrated to Minnesota, and I met Adam in St. Paul through basketball. And Adam can tell you about his career in basketball. He had a really illustrious career in basketball. He's played all over the world. And I was running a company before was a printing company, and I used to do commercial screen printing for like the Timberwolves and Target and a lot of other larger entities. And we came together with an idea to bring something to market. At first, we were going to try to do juice and like a juice bar, but we didn't know enough about juice. We tried to whip up some juices, and they really just kind of sucked. So we kind of moved on. And Adam,
but honestly, how good were they?
We didn't know, but we had our eye in the right direction. And Adam had a background in pizza, as well as like I said, traveling through Europe, and he can tell you about his career. But we had an entrepreneurial start, and we came together on this idea because Adam actually used to work at Papa John's in high school. I kind of let you take it over from there.
Yeah, tell us about your background.
My first start was I grew up watching Ninja Turtles, you know what I'm saying? So
pizza.
They always ate pizza, and they were like ninjas. I was super influenced by martial arts, so they took a real, had a big influence on my childhood. Grew up working at Papa John's throughout high school, so just like traditional pizza. Not going to say that I always had plans to open up my own pizzeria, but pizza was always something that brought the family together. It was always mad affordable. Everybody was always happy, it was pizza night. Yep. I'll say that. Pizza, wings, you got your 2 liter of soda, and tastes good, is affordable, and brings people together kind of like a comfort food, So I think when we really found a spot that made sense, part of our business model early on was low square footage, So we had this place in Northeast Minneapolis that was 300 square feet.
Yeah.
350. The first slice is about 350 square feet.
Okay.
Yeah. It was an old insurance office.
Okay, awesome.
So converted.
We had to, I don't know how we got it up to code, but we did,
I love it.
And the whole takeout and delivery was initially our motto around COVID. That was the only thing that worked, So we based it kind of off that at first. Always had plans to kind of expand and do a little more, but that was kind of the start of it, just finding a way to get in this industry. I don't have the traditional background, right? Where my dad was a chef, and then my dad's dad and family, my cousins, none of that. I don't come from that background, so I don't think we had the privilege of coming with a traditional business model. Sure. We had to kind of be innovators, in the sense of instead of just selling regular pizza, we broke it down and sold it in slices. And then we also sell whole pizzas as well, But I would say the theme of slice is more innovation than anything. But obviously, we make some good pizza, and we wouldn't be here or have 4 locations if we didn't make some fire pizza. But the innovation is something that kind of defines us, at least up to this point.
For sure.
And you do make fire pizza. I'll just say that, and we're thrilled that you're at Mall of America, so thank you for being part of our family.
Thank you.
But talk a little bit about why you sell pizza by the slice and what the strategy is behind that.
Yeah, so I think, our model was sort of birthed through COVID a bit, but the original plan was just pizza by the slice.
Yep.
Through some of the fashion and, other industry stuff, I spent a lot of time on the East Coast and through basketball for Adam. So, New York or other, more developed areas and cities have pizzerias on almost every corner.
They do.
You can go, you can get a quick slice of pizza, you can get it by the slice instead of a whole pie like Adam was referencing, and it's just fast. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's sort of fast and affordable, a bit kind of what we aim to be for customers, and we wanted to see that more in Minneapolis. So that was an original niche that we thought needed to be filled. There's a few others that do it. We won't mention them on the podcast. But there's a few others that do it that kind of, a little bit, but we're like, hey, we feel like this could be a model that's needed in Northeast.
Yep.
So that area is pretty well developed, and, we're like a community favorite over there just to get something fast and quick. And I think through COVID, it also began to morph to what more the market needed. More for people not having as much money to spend on, not going inside and just wanting it fast. Yep. And that began to kind of also birth our idea and sharpen it a bit and be able to fit the model a bit more and fit what the consumer is right now in 2023 and post-COVID and just in general. So, how people consume food. So that's kind of how our idea for pizza by the slice, but then, transforming into just slice where people can come and get a whole slice or a whole pie too. Because we do deliver and go online too. So we're trying to tell people in the Bloomington area that. But that's kind of how slice came.
The concept, obviously, we're a New York style slice pizzeria. And why that works in New York is the volume, right? You have so many people, their population density, I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot of people on those blocks. So they're able to do that. It's harder to do that in more like residential areas, you know? So like the residential model is kind of like delivery, right? You have a place that sells pizza by the pie, and their delivery radius essentially extends about 2.5 miles, give or take, to their storefront, you know? So we kind of wanted something where like, all right, I don't have a family, you know, or not yet, I'll say, okay? So like, me growing up, I had 3 brothers, you know, a dad, so there's a lot of people, so we can get 2-3 pizzas and it makes sense. Whereas like me going out for lunch for myself, I can't eat a whole pizza. So it doesn't really make sense for me to buy that. And a lot of maybe working professionals or people that are just coming to get something quick want a slice. Okay, cool, $5, $10, maybe you want 2, maybe you're hungry. We have drink specials and things like that, to where our ticket price opens up to everyone. We have anyone shopping for one person to, I don't know, 100, 200 people. You know, we can kind of cater to all those ticket sizes. So a flexible business model is kind of what we were looking for.
I love it. And I will say that I think you have probably, quite honestly, the tastiest fast food option at Mall of America.
Okay, good.
I really do. And I also think it's the most affordable.
Yeah, I think it is. And,
you're right.
You know, that's kind of what we aim to be. You know, fast and affordable. You know, you're able to get, you know, good pizza for a, you know, good price. And we always, you know, think that pizza's different. We're not a whole meal like some other ones, but you know what you're coming for, and we're trying to do it fast.
And it's good. Who developed the recipe for the dough and the toppings? How did that all happen? Did you guys just experiment, or I mean, clearly the juice thing didn't work. So how did you develop your recipes for round pizza?
Yeah, we actually worked with chefs. It was a pretty cool process. This is like, you know, we were still in our respective other fields. You know, Adam was an agent and I was running my company. And, you know, it kind of happened around COVID when we first got our lease, and then we got shut down. So we got a chance through COVID to work with chefs personally and really just eat a lot of pizza. I'll say I was a lot skinnier before that. You know what I mean? Adam's still really thin, but...
you need to eat more pizza.
He knows how to watch himself. I'd say I was the one eating maybe dressed in a little more. But, you know, we were able to work with chefs and just kind of build our recipe. So we really worked with them chefs. And I will say shout out to U.S. Foods, who is our distributor, and giving them a plug, and who hooked us up with the chefs that really helped us craft our recipe. But me and Adam actually came with it ourselves. So It's, you know, really sometimes like a surreal moment to see people enjoy the pizza. And like when we brought it to market, just some of the growth that we've had, obviously being at 4 locations and soon to have 5, because we have a project opening in downtown St. Paul.
Wonderful. When does that open?
That opens in March.
Okay, fantastic.
March-ish.
So I was modest. There's some flexibility there.
So like me and Hosie,
February.
All right, so me and Hosie, I'm like the pragmatist, right? I'm super pragmatic about things and realistic. Hosie's like a visionary, you know? So like Hosie will say, okay, February 15th, Valentine's Day. And I'm like, Hosie, no, St. Patrick's Day. like, you know, because, but like we have like a balance, and I think that's part of the reason.
I was going for February.
I love it. I actually read an interview with the two of you. I think it was in the Eatery or something, where you were talking about you are the pragmatist. Hosie's the visionary. He's the dreamer, right?
Right. So we try to find ways to like meet in the middle on things sometimes.
But it's a good balance, right?
It is. Definitely.
And you are the first Black-owned pizzeria in town, is that correct?
In
Minneapolis. Okay, that's what I heard.
In Minneapolis.
Wonderful. And were you impacted by a fire early on or something?
Yeah.
Was there something? What happened there, and how did you get beyond that?
So that was an incident. I think we were open about 2-3 weeks. It couldn't have been more than a month, I think. Okay. And we were open 2-3 weeks. I don't know. We still don't know exactly what happened, but we were closed. Yeah, and there was a fire that took place on the side of our building, and there was some damage to the unit. We had to shut down for a little while. Unfortunate, right? Because like we originally started Slice in 2019, or that's when we signed the lease, and then COVID and everything happened. So we didn't open for 2 years. So imagine 2 years of you know, paying contractors, paying the lease, you know, and all the other miscellaneous expenses that go into opening a restaurant, you know. So then this fire, we finally open, right? We're finally making some earnings, and then a fire happens, and it was just like, it was disheartening, you know. But luckily, the community of Northeast Minneapolis and the greater community of Minnesota, we crowdfunded.
I'll say shout out
supported,
Northeast
yes,
Minneapolis.
no,
They
facts,
created a GoFundMe for us.
Yeah.
And they helped you get through it, right?
It really helped us get through it, and
Mm-hmm.
adversely created a lot of media attention around the business that we probably wouldn't have got over there just Northeast. So it ended up working to our advantage a bit with everything that happened. And it was a very tough situation. And, we were able to stop it. Luckily, we're only a half block over Northeast away from the fire station.
Yeah.
So they're literally
Nice.
right behind us. So it didn't impact us as heavily, but
But you made it through. You're
sure.
about to open another location in, what was that, early February, Hosie? I'm
Looks
kidding.
like a
I'm
little bit
kidding.
late
I'm kidding.
February. It depends on when it happens.
This spring, right? And but community is something that pulls us all together, right?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that's so I'm really glad that you were embraced by the Northeast community, and I will do a shout out to them as well because that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is,
right?
for sure.
You, I've heard people talk about that. I think it was the same interview, right? Where maybe it's like, are you going to be the next major thing?
Yeah.
And I remember, I believe it might have been you, but I'm not sure. One of you guys were talking about what the why is behind your business. That it's not necessarily to be, have hundreds of outlets, although maybe that is your dream.
Yeah.
But can you talk a little bit about why and what your purpose is for this business?
We'll both have to answer that. I can
love
probably go
it.
first.
For sure.
So I think when we started out, Hosie and I wanted to find ways to create generational wealth for our respective families.
Yep.
As entrepreneurs, we've been both been entrepreneurs for about 10 years now, give or take. So that was the original start, right? Like how are we going to not have jobs and provide for our families? And okay, we started the concept. Things are going good, and we're kind of figuring things out. And then what happened along the way, I think, is our families grew, and our employees and the people that work with us in our business and our partners and all of that became our family, know? So I think now what I've seen at this point, we've created 35 jobs, and every 2 weeks we run payroll, and these people look to us, So like, it's bigger than just Hosie and I at this point because the Slice Brothers family has grew. So at this point, I think it's about job creation, stimulating the economy. And I've realized the part that entrepreneurs, especially small businesses, kind of play in that, and that we are igniters and impact investors in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
So understanding our influence and what that means and the implications it has based on the decisions that we make as entrepreneurs.
Yep.
I think we've understood that. And so now we're able to see beyond me and Hosie's, family dreams and the bigger picture. And I think that's pushing us into different heights that wasn't really part of the plan, honestly.
I love that. How about for you?
Yeah, and even to circle back on the question, just, how why.
What is your why? Yeah.
Exactly, and, just how that evolved. And I think, when we originally came to market, we really just were looking to create affordable pizza, just fast. I don't think me and Adam really saw beyond the first location and thought more of the concept. We've kind of thought like, hey, we'll be owners of this. We'll run it. It'll be cool.
Yep.
We'll make pizzas. We'll have owners, workers. We'll be like pizza guys. We thought we'd just be kind of hanging out at the pizza spot and maybe having a few brews, honestly. We just thought that was going to be cool in Northeast Minneapolis. And just like, it started to grow, it started to gain traction. Like, me and Adam's due diligence and what we've worked and put into the business started to, kind of expand. And the model, what I'll say, bringing fast, affordable pizza to market became kind of more what we saw was needed.
Yes.
And I think that's what you were referencing even from the article. And they asked, like, is it your guys' goal or dream to have these 5 locations or, to continue to grow to 100? And it's like, nah, not really. Like... excuse me, each opportunity that comes, we kind of analyze it, say, does the market need this? Look at, maybe more dominance in the market and say, yeah, I think this could fit there. I think it would go well there. I think the market could expand or, have that. Even, here at the mall, there's dominance. Chick-fil-A's throwing punches upstairs in the,
I love it.
the food court.
There's opportunities, right?
It's like, hey, we're also here. If, pizza is a good option. So I think it kind of expands to that fast, affordable option. And it's more now just like about growth and representation. And I think, as African-American owners, me and Adam try to put our best foot forward. And, obviously, compared to other bigger companies, still have a lot to grow and a lot to put into the business. But I think right now it's just more about, where can this really go well? And, how can this affect the community that we're in? Or how can this affect the area that we're in? And would it benefit? Because not everyone can eat out or not everyone has options that are 20, 25 bucks a day. Like, and everyone likes pizza. So,
Absolutely.
we continue to expand on sort of that model and, go to areas that need us.
I love it. And that's part of your mission. And I was kind of loving, you both echoed this, but there's also a great responsibility to being entrepreneurs. You talked about how your family has grown. You have roughly 30 employees, I think you said, right? And the pressure of every 2 weeks, right? They need their paycheck, right?
Yeah.
And I think most people don't understand that even a place like Mall of America, which has hundreds of stores and stuff, a lot of them are small businesses.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them are entrepreneurs like you guys, that there's pressure and there's weight, right? And you have a responsibility for your teams. And so first of all, kudos to both of you.
Thank you.
Because I can't imagine how much pressure that is. But it's something awesome because you're helping these people have careers and jobs and making a difference in that way as well, right?
Definitely.
I would love to hear very briefly, if I can, Adam, about your basketball career. Do you mind just sharing that a little bit?
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to that at the first part.
Hosie talks me up like like I was in the NBA or something. I was a mildly successful basketball player. Played high school, was lucky enough to get a scholarship to play in college. Played overseas professionally in Germany for a little while, in Spain. If we're looking on the grander scheme of things, I was like a low-level professional player.
Yeah,
but I was good enough to get professional contracts.
Okay.
So that was cool, As somebody that went to college to play basketball, I never got to study abroad or anything like that. The usual college student is like spending some years abroad in France and, Vietnam or wherever they're going. And I had never been out of the country until I went to play professional basketball. So it was more of like a experience thing for me. The money was okay. I was getting paid to play basketball, so that was great. But I think above and beyond that, when I came back here, coached on the collegiate level for a number of years before starting my own player development and consulting company. Directed a lot of clinics for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
He was getting dunked on by Czechoslovakians.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No, I'm just joking.
So yeah.
We're going to get some B-roll of that and put that right over this conversation, right?
Find it out of nowhere. No,
But I'm
just
still involved in the basketball community, and I work with a lot of players that are professionals, that are in college and high school, youth level, at all levels, and I still get to play a role in their lives, even as like a consultant, so I think that's great. Still love the game, obviously, but I think my life kind of took a turn into business, so then I'm full-time business. But whenever I get a chance and I can watch some basketball, like I still love it,
Very cool. And then you had mentioned the Timberwolves. Did you guys have a chance to sample your pizza at a Timberwolves event or a game? Or what was that all about?
We were just the chef of the night at the Timberwolves for MLK Day, so it was pretty cool. So we had our own stand, and we were basically a vendor for the night, and it was crazy. We sold out by halftime. People loved the pickle pizza there.
Awesome.
But it was a super cool experience that we got to connect with the Target Center and the Timberwolves on.
Oh, very fun. I love that. I wish I would have been at that game, right?
Yeah.
And how cool that you sell out by halftime, right?
Yeah, for sure. We were mad. We
need to make more pizzas, right?
Sure. We wish we would have known like the volume we had. We had a good guess for it, but it was still cool to be able to have the product there and still spread to the larger audience.
See ourselves on the jumbotron. That was pretty cool.
That's very cool. So, what is your dream for the future of Slice Brothers Pizza? What's your hope? What's your
Elon
what's your
Musk
dream?
makes an offer for $20 million.
Okay, sold.
Right.
That's a tough one. I think to grow sustainably in a way that we still have control, and that we have influence. I think a lot of businesses get to a level and they sell off, and then what they had as a business is not really what they represent anymore. So I think as we grow and scale, it would be good to have ethics still involved in our business. And I think we always will. We'll never give up that much control to where we're not ethically running a business. So maybe something like that.
Okay.
But that's a tough question, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
For sure. Just to say what the goal is.
Yeah, because you never know where you can go.
I'd say just to, make customers happy.
I love it.
I think that would be like just the goal, because it's, it's tough to say like, we want to have mass success and we want it to, make a lot of money. And obviously we would like that.
Sure.
But I think overall, like, just want to bring customers a good experience. I think that will bring you success and that will bring you money. So if I had a goal for the business or, something that we continue to be aiming for is just like really happy customer service and really happy customer experience.
Love it.
We want people to come, enjoy the pizza, live their life, let us fit into that little window of the day when you're eating and whatever you got going on, and just, have a good rapport.
Tell us where your locations are. So can you give us the addresses and then your website as well so folks can find you?
Yeah.
Yep. So the first location, Northeast Minneapolis, 519 East Hennepin Avenue in Minneapolis. You need a zip code too? Or just,
No, that's good. That's good.
Midtown Global Market,
Yep.
920 East Lake Street. Mall of America, I don't know the address here.
Yeah. Third floor,
East
North
Parkway.
Food Court. It's awesome.
Culinary North.
And then also Frogtown in St. Paul, 641 University Avenue West. Yep.
Okay. And then location 5.
Yes.
Going to be open. It's in the Treasure Island Center. So it's in a connection with the Wild and a building that they own downtown St. Paul. We'll be opening 400 Wabasha. Will be opening in March, and that will be a slice watch bar. There you can come have drinks, have a little bit of expanded menu, new wing items and things that we're bringing to market that we think people will like, and watch your favorite game. So that'll be Slice Watch Bar.
We were keeping it under wraps, but I guess you just dropped the bomb.
Apparently it's out in the public now, right?
Throw it in there. And we're out here if anyone hears or is interested. But
I love
we
it.
think it's going to be a cool concept. Check it out, please.
And what's your website?
SliceBrothersUSA.com.
Okay, awesome. So for all of our listeners, please visit these guys and their locations. Enjoy their amazing pizza because it is very good. And support your local communities, right? Small businesses.
For sure.
That's really important.
Thank you.
But before we finish, I'm going to ask a couple of quick questions, right? So don't even think about it. I just kind of want to know your thoughts. And what's your, we're at Mall of America, right? So I just want to know, Hosie, your favorite store at the mall.
Favorite store at the mall? Nordstrom's.
Okay. What do you got, Adam?
Store at the mall. I want to say the old Camp Snoopy.
Okay. The old Camp.
The Pepsi Ripsaw roller coaster was like my all-time favorite.
It was,
I'm going to take it back to old Camp Snoopy when I was a kid and I came here. And that was just like the best day of the year when somebody had a birthday and we got to have a pizza party and come to Camp Snoopy.
It was awesome, right? Yeah, I love that roller coaster. It was so much fun. So what is your favorite pizza right now? Toppings, flavor?
Chicken bacon ranch.
Dill pickle ranch.
Dill pickle ranch. I love it. In the dream world, what would be the most amazing pizza combination you could make?
Sausage, pepperoni, mushroom, green olive, dill, weed.
Okay, wow, okay.
In the dream world, the most awesome pizza. Maybe I'll make like a Wagyu pizza.
Okay. Wow.
like a Wagyu. I'll maybe cut that up and do something different with it. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Okay.
That's a tough question. Dang, in the dream world.
Yeah, look for new exciting recipes to come, right? This is great. One final really quick question, because you had mentioned this earlier. Your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo. He doesn't know him.
You don't even know.
I'll say Donatello.
Good enough. You had a good chance to guess one of the four, right? So we're going to wrap it up here, and I just want to thank both of you for joining us today for this conversation. We've tried to get this to happen in the past, and thank you for being so
thanks for having us. Thanks for
sticking with us and coming into the studio. We truly appreciate it, and for being here at Mall of America. And for all of our guests that are listening, honestly, these are two gentlemen that have community at heart. They are small business people that have grown their family, and let's help them be successful. And their pizza is freaking amazing. That's all I'm going to say. I love it.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And that'll wrap us up for this episode of So Much More, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of So Much More. If you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you find your favorites, including Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. And you can also watch a video cast on YouTube. Go to podcast.mallofamerica.com to leave a review, ask a question, or give us an idea for the show. Until next time, thanks for listening. So Much More is presented by the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau, the official destination marketing organization for the city of Bloomington, Minnesota. Before your next trip to Mall of America, visit bloomingtonmn.org for answers to all your travel questions, deals and packages for hotel stays, and so much more.